Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Robin's been globetrotting, and we are so happy to have you in the studio. We just want to welcome you back home and let you know that you were severely missed. And we just are so happy to say welcome to the show and to everyone watching live and on the replay. We know that you're going to find something that will help you live life better and run a profitable business that's fun to run. How you doing this morning, Robin? You look great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my Bill's palsy is really clearing up. It's
Mhm.
doing really well. So I'm very happy with the progress of my healing on that for sure.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so the weather here in Sacramento is just beautiful.
It has been fabulous.
And I was trying to think of something to talk about this morning, and I thought, you know what, we haven't gone over just some nutrients and vitamins lately, and I've been thinking a lot about my skin health, not my face necessarily, but my overall body skin health.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been looking for ways to take care of my skin, and it really boils down to nutrition.
Mm.
I mean, it really does. It's like everything for our bodies. It's like food is medicine, right? Maureen Stevenson's with us today, and I love this. She's our healthy women advocate lifestyle coach. So
Wow.
she has something to add to these 8 anti-aging vitamins and nutrients that we're going to talk about this morning very quickly because I want to get Maureen on. So this is a great scientific little journal that I've daily uh, blog, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
they put out this nice article about these 8 nutrients and minerals, and the very first one that they think is the most important is collagen,
Oh.
a collagen supplement, or taking a regular. Okay, so this is what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Collagen is the king of anti-aging, which is why so many youth rejuvenation treatments focus on renewing or revitalizing collagen production in the body. But you can kickstart this process without needles simply by supplementing collagen into your diet. Collagen is a protein that helps the maintenance of skin as we age and produce less of it, leading to wrinkles and sagging, blah, 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 blah. So it goes on about that. But they talk about a 12-week study of 72 women who regularly took a collagen supplement, and that it significantly improved the appearance of skin elasticity and softness.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So
Okay.
I have been taking a collagen supplement recently. So
Uh-huh.
it's something I've been doing more recently. Yeah. The second one, which surprised me, was vitamin A.
Okay.
And they said vitamin A can be added to your diet by eating beef liver, eggs, tomatoes, bell peppers, spinach, and carrots. And they said vitamin A is the strongest argument for why you should keep going after supplementing with collagen. This powerhouse vitamin prevents and slows the effects of aging on both your inside and outsides. Um,
I believe that. I'm a strong believer in, having something green in your diet, dark green, and eggs. I eat a lot of eggs.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
all
So,
of the egg people. I don't care what they said about the yolk. All that food. I love the yolk.
right. And actually, they're saying eggs are good for us.
They
It's a good
changed their
source of
mind. Yeah.
protein. Yeah.
Mhm.
The next one is vitamin D. Getting vitamin D from sun exposure is one option. Foods that include vitamin D are milk, salmon, tuna, and soybeans. And
Mm.
it says vitamin D is also a powerhouse anti-aging vitamin, extending longevity and the possible reduction of diseases and illnesses related to aging.
Okay.
So vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Now, vitamin E is the next one, and I don't take vitamin E supplements, but this is how you get it.
Okay.
almonds, sunflower seeds, peanuts, asparagus, avocado, and mango.
Oh.
Vitamin E. This vitamin E occurs naturally in our body, but is quickly depleted by the sun.
Oh.
This is not good, as vitamin E is a powerhouse antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals, unstable atoms that damage damage cells, and have been linked to aging. And vitamin E not only protects the skin from wrinkles and fine lines, but it can also boost collagen production, speeding up cell regeneration and creating new skin growth. And, I eat a lot of sunflower seeds. I put it in my
Really?
salads and my pumpkin seeds and all
Oh.
that good stuff that Maureen has taught us. Just add these great nuts and seeds to our diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
guess I'm getting my vitamin E that way because I do eat a lot of pumpkin seeds. The fifth one is resveratrol. And we've heard about resveratrol, like the red wine stuff, right?
Oh, uh-huh.
And they said resveratrol is responsible for giving grapes and raspberries their distinctive red color. It also combats wrinkles and fine lines. Resveratrol has been found to protect skin from premature aging.
Oh, I put blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries in my smoothie in the morning, and spinach.
There you
And
go.
and then I have this vitamins powder that I got from Maureen
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that I put in there. So I guess I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I need to add some mango.
Yeah. They said, okay, so peanuts, grapes, blueberries, cranberries, and dark chocolate
Mm.
for resveratrol. Okay. The sixth one is zinc. Dietary sources of zinc are oysters, whole grains, red meats, poultry, beans, nuts, crab, and lobster.
Okay.
It's a trace mineral element found in red blood cells and involves the important role of our body that produces zinc. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, that was confusing.
I know zinc is really good for your joints.
Our human body does not naturally produce zinc.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get it through supplements and through our diet.
Mm-hmm.
Zinc also plays a role in protecting against hair loss and premature aging.
Oh.
Okay, and the next to the last one is curcumin. You've heard of that. It's kind of like turmeric.
Yeah.
Right? Turmeric is the plant. This largest amount of curcumin is often available in nutrient supplements. So you can take it with by doing turmeric or a curcumin supplement. And they found that the root of the turmeric plant improves cognitive and memory, and also possible treatment for Alzheimer's.
What?
And I do take a supplement of turmeric every day, but I didn't realize it was
good for your memory. Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, and the last one is selenium, which you can find in Brazil nuts, seafood, organ meats, and eggs again. Selenium is a trace mineral that prevents vitamin E deficiencies. It can be obtained through the diet or supplements, and has been associated with protecting our telomeres, which Maureen could probably tell us what about. Telomeres are the healthiness. Long telomeres indicate healthier cells, and so that's what selenium does for us. So that's it.
I think we all need to protect ourselves.
So we're doing pretty good by our diet.
I guess
we?
So. We're doing better than I thought I was.
Yeah. So with that, let's bring on Maureen, and I'm sure she'll have some stuff to add. She's going to talk to us today about the difference between movement and exercise.
Oh, that sounds great. Let's bring her in.
So our healthy women advocate, Maureen Stevenson, she is a lifestyle coach focusing on nutrition, mental health, emotional health, physical health, and personal health. Hi, Maureen.
Hi guys, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Wow, it's interesting list.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I was just like thinking that here I have my turmeric,
What is that?
curcumin. You just talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have my collagen here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing too bad.
Now, Maureen, is that collagen an Amari product or is that
No, I'll tell you about it later, but it's collagen boost. And what I do in the morning, as Terry says, you put a handful of your berries, and then you put for the protein aspect of it, I have a protein shakes that I just put one in, one of those scoops in. And then with my berries, I always get the berries that is the variety pack. So you have strawberry, raspberry, all the berries. And as usual, you just put your handful, dump them in there, put some spinach in that blender and just right? And you're good to go. So it was so interesting. And at the end of my presentation, I was going to talk about, just give an overall of the Fabulous Four. We call it here the Fabulous Four supplement that all women should have in their medicine cabinet, because I always call that your pantry, your medicine cabinet, because that's where medicine comes from, right? We need to take those and replace it with these. So one of mine was vitamin B, right? That we supposed to be in the medicine cabinet, fish oil, and vitamin D, right? You talked about vitamin D in that list, and then a probiotic. A good probiotic that deals with your upper part, so you got the middle and the lower part. So I was just going to put that in at the end of my presentation. So I am glad that you talked about skin, and skin is such one of the largest organs in our body, and most people just think we just have it. And it's just a place where you have to, in my opinion, you have to nourish it inside out. Right? So much people think that the benefit comes from outside in. So we naturally put on all these other stuff and block our pores and all of that. When nutrition is the way, I think personally that you need to make your skin vibrant, comes from inside out. And so, I don't have much to say about those, but they're good. They're good. It's a very good article, and it speaks to what as we age, how we should be a little bit more intentional. And I always talked about it's just a little bit of intention. It's not the overwhelming things that we do. So I'm getting back to my topic.
Well, I'm glad you said we should be intentional, because I think sometimes people really get carried away and then they get discouraged.
Oh my God, yes. It is the carried away. That part that is the word for the day. Because even the topic I'm going to talk about, because we see so much of social media that plays a lot in our parts, right? And we see every time, somebody goes viral, it's because they're doing these exercises like, and they're lifting 1,000,000 weights and all of that. And you'd be like, okay, I'm going to sit here because I can't do nothing, and we compare, like, because that's the way how people go viral. The people got to be extra, right?
Yes.
And then I used to be that person that looks on it like that. And then when I got certified and going, I'm like, it's the little everyday things that matters. It's the little everyday things that makes the big difference, right?
Yes.
So it's just to go back, I would say, go back to the basics. That's why I said intentional, because it has to be an intention to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because this busy life doesn't put us on the calendar, right? It puts everything else on the calendar. No, seriously.
Yes.
You wake up in the morning, like yesterday, I wake up in the morning, I have my clients, I go on Zoom, I do this, I do that. By 12 o'clock, I'm in here sitting down like 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock trying to do some stuff on the computer. And then by the time I look up, it's 12 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. I'm like, what the hell? I haven't done anything for myself.
Yes.
I
There you
start
go.
to go to bed. So when I say intentional, you have to like sometimes draw back and says, Jesus, am I just not seeing myself? And I think so much of us go through a day not seeing ourselves. We just see others. And that's why intentional is a key word for me. But I've worked with a lot of women, and I've seen the overwhelm, you know, and
Yes.
it's real. It's really hard as women to take care of ourselves. I swear to God, it is. It just is. Where do we find time in this busy world? You tell me. An entrepreneur. I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, a wife, a mother, a daughter, a friend. I have church obligations. We have all these hats.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just hard to take those hats and get to ourselves. And that is it. But today I want to talk a little bit about movements and exercise. So for me, and this is my own personal, how I remembered it for myself, that the difference between exercise and nourishing movements, right? Nourishing movements is what your body tells you to do, and then you find joy from it over time. And to me, exercise is what people tells you to do and gives you less joy. Right?
Right. It's more work, right?
Right? It's become more work and it's become labored, right? But I think the body is such this expert that if we listen to it, it will tell us the exercise and it will tell us the movement that nourishes over time. And so I say, if you find yourself doing something that doesn't bring you joy in the form of movements, then you're not doing the right exercise for your body, right? Because exercise is not supposed to leave you labored and crazy at the end of the day. Yes, it's going to give you, you might start feeling a little bit soreness. And as you get into the rhythm, that becomes less and less, right? Muscle soreness. And that's a part of it, but it shouldn't make you get up and dread it like, Jesus, I'm going to do it again this morning. Right? So physical activity. And so that's where I think about, like, if we can change that to not just exercise, but what nourishes me? What kind of movements nourishing me? What am I getting from this thing? Right? What am I putting in when I get up and exert myself? Am I getting something out of it? And then for me, if I'm not getting it, I'm like, I leave it alone. And so I always think that at the end of the bout of a nourishing movement, you're supposed to feel better in your own body. You're supposed to feel lighter. You're supposed to feel more joyful. When I do nourishing movements, I go to the store and start buying everybody I know something. And I'm like, no, I can't be in the store, right? And so intentionally, I don't go to the store after I exercise because it gives me such a rush, such a movement that it just, I'm going in there and then they said there's an exercise high. Gee, it is. So when I do nourishing movements, I'm at the store and I'm like, this fit Terry. I'm going to get it for Terry. Oh, this look like Robin. I'm gonna get it for Robin. And then I remember, like, girl, you don't have money like that. What's wrong with you? That is what it is. It is such a genuine and just a high rush. And I come back to say simple things because it's, if you enjoy gardening, that's exercise. If you enjoy putting on some music and turn the door and lock it off and just sweat it out, whether it's 60s, whether it's your Christian music, whatever genre it is, do that. Do that and move. The body is not asking you to specific movement. It's just telling you to move me. Move the toxins out of me. I need to come alive, you know? And so I would say within yourself, search for what gives you the greatest joy. If you feel like the greatest joy give you walking around the block with your grandkids twice a day when it's good, put on some sexy clothes that makes you feel good in your body, that when it hits your body, It feels good. It says, okay, girl, get up. I can do this. And whisper some motivation in your thing. So a part of your exercise should be with your clothes, right? Because if you put on the clothes that drags, you're going to feel the same way. Like, I got to do this thing again. I got to do this thing again. And then the clothes is going to say, yes, sadness, don't do it. Right? But if you put on some lively clothes that says, girl, you can crush this goal. And you got to look good, right? Looking good and feel good. They work hand in hand. So think about how you dress too, right? Do you dress in sad, boring clothes? That is going to play in your psyche. It's because at this point, especially if you're not motivated, you're going to need something to motivate you. And sometimes it's not going to be a person, because if you're in an environment where people don't understand exercise or they don't even like doing it, who is going to motivate you? You got to put stuff in your life to motivate you to move. Right? And so I'm going to run down a little bit of the benefits of nourishing movements. Right? It burns extra calories. It tone muscles and increase less fat. Help control appetite. That one should be the number one goal. Right?
Are we talking about exercise or are we talking about movement?
We're talking about nourishing movements now. I'm talking about nourishing movements that I don't call it exercise. I switch my brain cell inside me because it's nourishing. Because if I'm gonna do something that I know is going to help me to work on my appetite, that is motivation for me right there. If I do this thing, then I don't have to go raid my cupboard and eat all that doesn't nourish me, right? All the sugar, all the those things in my pantry that doesn't empty calories, right? We call them empty calories around here. So, but if I'm going to do something that's going to give me some benefits, right?
Yes.
Why wouldn't I do that? And the other one that nourishing movements does, it helps you to improve self-esteem and your self-image.
Yeah. It's probably good for your mental health, isn't it?
Yeah.
This makes you feel better. Yeah.
And then it reduces fatigue and energize the body. So let's think about it and frame it in a different sense, right? Because most people, as you talk about exercise, they've gone through the door, they dread it. They'll be like, I'm out of here. I don't want to hear that. Most women I talk to, they'd be like, I don't know how I'm going to move. I'm unmotivated. But I could say, if you turn that on and think about the nourishment that you're going to get out of it, what am I getting from this thing when I do it? Because at the end of the day, when we work, we're motivated by money, right? Like, we got to get a paycheck, right? Nobody like go to work, form a business to don't get a paycheck. You'd be like, some of us want to turn millionaires or, overnight, but that's another story. But yeah. So it's the payoff. What am I getting? So every time I look, am I getting a check from this? Right? So I just looked at it like that. Yeah, the check that I'm getting is that I'm going to be less fatigued. I am going to be more energized in my body. That's my pay. Right? So I'm framing it in that framework that when exercise can be drugged, because when you look at the internet or you look at the people around you, they're lifting 1 million pounds and you can't lift one. And then you sit there and you be like, how am I going to do this thing? But if you think about it, money is a motivator, and I'm going to get paid from this thing when I do it, right? I'm going to have, my appetite is going to be controlled. That's a paycheck coming in right there. Right?
Good point.
Yeah. I'm going to combat anxiety and depression. Again, and then you package it with the clothes that you wear. Because some colors in the clothes can lead you to anxiety and keep you in that space that you're trying to get out of. But if you put a little bit of color in it, it will help you to pull you up, right? So you got to that's why I said intentional, because this thing has to be an intention. You can't just like, I'm unmotivated and just get up and think that you're going to be motivated. You got to switch the brain switch in your head and then think about it. It's an intentional. I'm going to start with my clothing because I want my clothing to help me, right? I'm going to have nice footwear. One of the greatest thing I see, or the lack of it, is footwear. We don't think about what we're putting on our foot, because if the footwear is not comfortable, you ain't doing no exercise. If you're in the wrong shoes, you're not doing it.
That's true.
Right? And foot care. So as I grow older, I'm realizing that foot care is like the number one thing for me. Like, I have to put on my shoe and it has to make love to my feet, and like, oh, girl, you can do this thing. Right? So I will spend on my shoe because it is a great part of the outfit and the great part of the motivator, right? If you feel good, you're going to do this thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, make sure that you have a good bra, that the girls doesn't beat up their one another, because sometimes if you don't have the good bra and the girls them start fighting at each other like, and you're going to be sore. And then the next day you'd be like, I'm not getting into this fight again, right? I'm not going to fight with you again, girlfriend. So this is how I frame, that's how I get through my day. And I'm just sharing these things literally. So if you can think of like, maybe exercise make me fight with my body, but movements make me enjoy my body, right? Nourishing movements. Because today I am going to feed myself some nourishment. I'm going to start intentionally from my clothes. When I go, I'm going to look for great shoes that can take the impact off my knee. And girl, the bad knee is not so much there anymore, because the shoe is going to hold me up. The bra is going to make me stand up, and I'm going to look firm. And this baby's not going to fight again, and my posture is going to come back. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Age and gravity pulled us this way.
Yeah.
And so when you start to be intentional is to combat gravity. It's like, girl, I got you. You draw back gravity this way.
You know how you helped me today, Maureen? Today's my day. I'm going to do some housework. I'm going to vacuum and things like that. Now I'm going to be doing nourishing movements as I clean my house.
There you go.
Switch my mindset to nourishing movements.
Yeah, cleaning your house. That is part of nourishing movement.
Yeah.
One of my clients yesterday just told me that this weekend she's like, she canceled 2 days with me, and when she was telling me what she does, and I'm like, okay, that is nourishing movements. That is what the body wants. Listen to it. She went to a spa somewhere in Atlanta and sat there and went into the spa, and she said this spa allows them in the space to be nude. And she went in there and she sat down and she made peace with her body. She looks at her body and she was like, yeah, body, I'm in love with you. And started to talk to her body from that point of view, get a deeper sense of who she is, who she wants to become. And I'm like, that is nourishment, baby.
There you go.
There you go. You sit in there for 24 hours with yourself, looking at your naked self, looking at the parts of us that the world tells us that is bad and we should not like or whatever, because we're seeing it in the mirror, and then this world is telling us to beat up ourselves with our words on our mouth because our body change. And when you can look and sit down with your body for 24 hours undisturbed, and you are just with you and your body, it's about you and your body. What do you want it to do for you? And then she's like, I'm come refreshing now, Maureen. I'm ready for the nourishing movements, And I'm like, yeah. Sometimes that's the mental break that we want, that our body needs. And as women, we don't give ourselves permission to do that.
Yeah.
We don't. We just live in this fast world and then just render ourselves.
And there's always some criticism waiting for us in our head.
Yeah, that's why it's so important what she did, because she goes and she realized that, you know what, gosh, if I looked in all of what aging is something that is coming, he ain't going anywhere.
Right.
Might as well I embraced it and do what's best for me mentally, physically, and emotionally, and be one with myself. Most women, I can tell you, go through this life without even looking at themselves. We're just so busy. We're just so busy. We don't even stop to think about who am I? Who am I?
Carlos says he has good ones. I think he's talking about his girls.
His girls doesn't grow. hopefully his girls doesn't grow like us, so they don't beat up each other. You know, he has fat stomach and his girls are behaved. But you know, sometimes it's the environment. Sometimes you have girls that misbehave, and sometimes you have girls that fight. You know, we're talking about my breast anyway here, so that's the girls. But yeah, and so nourishing movements promote relaxation. Yeah, it doesn't. That's why I tell you, it doesn't fight you. It makes sure when you're done, you be like, you know, this is relaxed. And that's why I was giving you that example with my client, because that's a relaxation. And that's something that is nourishing. That's something that her body told her that, you know, this is what you want at this time. You don't want to be lifting weight. You just want that quiet time with yourself. And that's kind of where most of the benefits come from. So that's why I'm trying to, you know, talk about it from a real point of view, because so much of us just seeing it as this dreaded thing that we just gotta lift weight and we just gotta, but that's not health. And wellness is the overall body. It's to look at your yang versus your yang. It's your overall self. It's mind, body, and soul. What nourishes me. And so if you're not you can start the fraud. You can start out doing all of this, and then you see people just fall off the wagon like, and you'd be like, where? Yesterday I see you exercising. What today did? And you'd be like, girl, that thing is not for me, right? Because we're not taking our time. We're not taking our time to understand and listen to the body, what the body wants. Because not every time the body wants this crazy exercise. And yeah, weight is a great thing, right? I was listening to this lady the other day that talks about an expert said weight is when you lift, right? It's your metabolic Spanx, right? It helps you to come back in, so you don't have to wear the Spanx that's out there. When you lift, that's your metabolic Spanx. She said exercise. What do you call it? Exercise. She's up there, PhD in exercise. And then your core is your inner girdle, right? So you don't have to spend the money on an external girdle.
Right.
But if you do, it's okay. There's no bad thing to it. Don't worry. Think about like Miss Maureen telling us that there's no bad thing. It's just what you want. And that's the thing the thing that I loved about this thing is that it gives us choice. Whether you want to be looked at as weak and feeble and people are sorry for you all the time, or you want to do something for yourself and come back to you as a person and be intentional. Because if we don't set that intention in this busy world, we ain't going to get it. Because the world craves more of us each day. There's always something to entice us right away from ourselves. It's that next job entitlement. It's all these pretty things that they dandled around us. And it's keep on coming and it's keep on coming. And the more they dandle these things, the further we get away from ourselves.
So, Maureen, do you want to go over the fabulous 4 supplements that you mentioned at the very beginning of the show? Just go over those quickly again for us. It was vitamin B, was it?
Yeah, vitamin B.
So I'm taking a nutritional yeast supplement, which is supposed to be packed with vitamin B nutrients.
So it says vitamin D play a vital role in the body, creating and sustaining your body energy supply by helping to break down proteins, fat, and carbohydrates. Vitamin D makes a great treatment for headache, fatigue, mood, stress, and menstrual disorder.
Mm.
And then fish oil.
Fish oil is the essential omega-3 fatty acid,
Mhm.
which are vital to good health. Fish oil support your body ability to prevent inflammation, promote strong immune system, cardiovascular health, joint and vision health, strengthen skin, hair, and nail. So
And
I literally have these fabulous four in my.
does Amari have a probiotic that they promote at all?
Yeah, yes, they do. We have an excellent probiotic that tackle the upper parts, the lower parts, and the middle parts of the gut.
Okay.
So Amari has that. And then vitamin D. We all know about vitamin D. If you don't get it, especially, go sit in the sun for a little bit, put on some sunscreen, and put yourself out there. It's a good way to get vitamin D immediately. Said vitamin enhance muscle strength, bone, and anti-inflammation, and anti-cancer effect, and boosts the immune system. Have your level checked by your doctor. Identify your level should be in the optimal range of 50 to 80 ml.
Okay.
Make sure you get your, because they said if you're taking a supplement and you're not deficient in it, then you're just peeing it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much just wasting your money to pee something out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
make sure you go to the doctor. That's what we got them for. That's why we pay those hefty insurance, right? And those copay. I went to the copay one day. My copay was like $40. I'm like,
Oh my.
I'm like, that's high, and I pay insurance. Like, but you're gonna pay one way or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when people said it, getting healthy is expensive, I have said, have you ever been sick?
Yeah.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you think you're healthy, and it's expensive. Wait till you're sick. Then you know the difference between the two. Right?
And Maureen, do you have any events coming up that you want to tell us about?
Right now, I am just concentrating on my Ageless Woman fashion show, which is going to be November 11. It's where a group of us just come together and help me to show off our agelessness and walk the catwalk with me, and be a sexy old woman as we age, and a younger woman. Not old, because we're not old, we're just women.
Mm-hmm.
We're just women who have changed and going through the life change. And my goal is to help us to understand that, and that we can be vibrant at that age and just be fabulous. You know, I love the word fabulous because you can put it in anything.
Yeah.
And just go through this life being your whole fabulous self, taking care of yourself, advocating for yourself. It's
But
hard.
you have an online Zoom exercise program that you offer too, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's through the Body Shop, where it's a 6 weeks program where you can contact me, and then we'll set it up from your home. You don't have to leave your home anymore, because thank God for COVID. It had opened so many opportunities for you to stay at home and do stuff. You don't have to be like, hey, I don't have any gym anymore. The gym can come to you, and the gym can be inside your house. It can be just that space for you to find nourishing movements, as we talked about that. It's just about a space to find nourishing movement that nourish you, not to just look at exercise and be like, okay, that is it, but to start from where you are and to start doing what lights you up. And I'm just a motivator, the person that comes in and cheer you on and write a program for you. Not one for everybody, but for you, for your goal, for your lifestyle, because each of us have a different lifestyle. And make that so that it can be true to you, that you don't have to do everybody exercise. You can do your exercise, the one that lights you up, right? The one that makes you feel your best after you've done it. And so that is what the parts of the 6 weeks in the Body Shop will allow you to do.
Okay, so we put the link in the chat, And this is her Facebook page for Maureen's Body Shop. So you'll know it when you get there.
Yeah.
Also, Maureen, we want to, let's see, what else can I share with you? We want to talk about your, what is it? Walk, call, crawl, run.
Walk or run fitness.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about this real quick?
So my Walk or Run Fitness, I have a program there that's called The Biggest Gainer. And so the biggest gainer is the thing that, when everybody out here want to lose, our goal is not to help you to lose anything. Our goal is to help you to gain, right? We want you to gain vibrancy. We want you to gain clarity. We want you to gain a great, healthy body that can move and groove and go through the life change. So this one is about, we talked a lot about menopausal, postmenopausal, perimenopausal, the change that we see in our body that confront us every day. You look in the mirror today and tomorrow you're not the same person. You'd be like, what happened to my body? Right? And so we help you to understand your hormones. And we work so close with your doctors and what they want to do, what they sent you home to do. And so as you see that body change, to come in to ownership with it and teach you about the hormone and to teach you how to balance those hormones so that you can go through life crushing your goals and doing the business that you were created here to do. So that is at the Walk or Run Fitness. So that's when we go into a whole lot of hormonal stuff and we teach you, we always send you to go get your blood work and then to see what's going on there first. And then we go from there and teach you the hormonal. We talked about estrogen, we talk about cortisol. We teach you all about those things and how you can get them back into harmony and get them back to, being your most.
And how long is that program, Maureen? Is it just how long you want to stay?
It's a 3 months program.
Okay.
And then we have phases to it. So where the initial stage is 3 months, it's a 3-month commitment from you, because we're going to be talking about hormonal. We're going to go in depth about what's going on in your body. We're going to go in depth about skin. Most people just see their body change. They don't understand estrogen. They don't understand cortisol. So it's an in-depth 3 months. And then we have phases to it. If you decided that you want to go on to the next phase, then we have 3 phases to the program.
Okay.
So that could be a year program. You just taking care of yourself, learning about hormonal health, what to eat, how to move, all of that beautiful thing. So that is most centered on hormonal gut health, and we do a lot of posture work in that too. So part of it is looking at our posture and to help her, to come back this way instead of going this way. And we do a lot of fall risk in it because that's the number one thing for our aging population is fall. People are always falling. And and so we do a lot of that. We do a lot of core work in that too. And just teaching you about your adrenal glands and all of that other good stuff that come along with aging.
When does the next class start? When do you start?
It's an ongoing thing. You can just book it because it's not a group program. It's a one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really want to do that as a group program because each person is so individual that we have to we want to see you. We want to make sure that we see the person that I personally like working with, somebody that I can see. In a group program with that, then you're just going to give everybody the same thing. And everything doesn't work for everybody. That's why we get a different prescription when we go to the doctor. Your body is totally different from Maureen. Your symptoms can be totally different from Terry. It should be your person. So it's not it's not a lump. This one is just one-on-one. We work with you one-on-one, and to get the result. And so it's an ongoing. You can book it anytime, and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
All righty, Maureen, we just thank you. You always have such great information. Wow, I have to get back to my vitamins on a serious note.
Well, Terry, you're doing well though.
Not necessary vitamins too, but like from your food, right? Because make sure you're like you talked about like
my
what
smoothie
you're doing in the morning, and that's a great way because I was just going through this course with this lady I was just telling you about, and she was like, one of the things to really break your fast, because breakfast, right? It's a great protein smoothie, right? Because we're breaking the fast. Breakfast is that we're breaking the fast overnight, right? So we have to make sure that when we break the fast, we get nourishing food, because for the whole night we've been starving. Kind of, our body is regenerating and moving stuff and and changing. So so to break the fast, we need good nutrition. And so one of the things that set us up in the morning is a great protein packed shake, right? And that is when people say they're busy, it's not too hard. Get the stuff, put them in something the night before, or put them on the countertop. No matter you hurry, get the blender, put them out, throw it in, grab it, run into the car if we have to, because that's the life we're living. Right? We're from. It's useless to tell us not to be busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because busyness is just what we do. It's just in our culture. And if we're not, then we feel useless and
it is a lifestyle.
Yeah, and they make us think that we're useless too in their advertisement and what they throw at us. So instead of you to feel worthy every day, I think you got to feed your body. I mean, the last time I was here, I was talking to you about sugar. They said sugar contributes to low self-esteem. It's connected to low self-esteem. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Take sugar out. I don't want to feel low and self-esteem. And so just to understand that intentional, not just to go over the board and think that this thing is crazy. Yes, sometimes it looks crazy, but it's that small step that we take. And it's not to go on a diet. It's an everyday thing. Remember that you have life and we got to live life. It's not a challenge. It's not the 30-day challenge. After the 30 days, there's still life. You got to live. Well, at the end of the challenge, then there's still life. And so take your time through life. Nourish yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Have kindness into yourself. Those are the things that mostly nourish us. When we add those things back in, compassion, kindness, you can eat as much food as possible. You can do all the exercise. If you're not nice to yourself, and you're not loving to yourself, all that doesn't matter. You just do those for no reason at all.
Right.
Anyway, that's my thinking. So maybe
that makes sense.
We have
a comment over here.
And passion, right?
Our Facebook user has a comment. She says, my mother says, what are you made of? She thinks I just keep going. Laugh out loud. And she's saying that this is a lifestyle. Yes.
Yes. It's definitely. It's definitely a lifestyle. It's not something that you do occasionally. When I started my journey, I learned from this naturopathic doctor. He says diet is a way of life. It says it comes from a Greek word called dieto. It's a way of life.
Way of life.
And I was like, oh my God, I got it. It's the way I lived. It's the way I interact with you. It's the way I interact with the person on the street. It's my spiritual. It's my mental. It's my.
We're talking to Lakeisha. How you doing this morning, Lakeisha?
It's me, Lakeisha.
Hi, Lakeisha. How are you? It's a lifestyle. It's how you read. It's how you vibe. It's not something that you go on and come back. And people would see me and like, girl, you're energetic, you're vibrant. What's going on here? And I'd be like, I make peace with myself.
Very
I've made peace with myself. Sickness let me value health. And not just eating health, but, just the calmness and the simpleness of life. And to remember to be present. Find time. I would say it's hard, but you can find time to be present and come back into ownership with yourself. We're mostly out of ownership with ourselves. That is the biggest thing I could say to women, is that we're sell out. We sell ourselves out, and it's time to come home. Come home to a body that you love, and do the things that makes nourishment. Think about everything you do in your everyday as a nourishment that you're putting in.
Mhm.
I
So-
liked it when you said the little everyday things that matter.
It is.
Just be intentional.
It is with the intention. I went to my garden the other day and I planted some seeds. And girl, in my garden now, I find some sexy zucchini. They're so sexy, and they remind me of transformation. That transformation is the little things that we see, and my garden is teaching me so much. I see those things from the seeds, and then they transform into the bud, and now they're giving me food that can energize my body. And so transformation is not this immediate thing, it's a process. So take time with yourself. Love yourself through the journey. Just take time.
Yep. And Lakeisha says she's made peace with herself, and yes, self-care is very important. Good morning, Janice.
Yeah. So I learned that I've already, like, you know what? If I don't understand myself, who is going to understand me? Nobody else is going to do that. Not my husband, not you, not the next person. I have to understand myself. So I made peace with myself. I've decided that I will take care of myself.
So we're encouraging everybody to take time to get to know yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest piece. If you haven't taken anything from me today, the biggest piece of advice I would say to.
Whoa, did she not? Your biggest advice? What happened to Marie? Did she just disappear?
So funny.
Unbelievable. It's like magic. She's gone. What is the biggest piece of advice? She left us in suspense. I would say
I thought she did. The nourishing movements really turned me on my head.
Yes.
Because now I'm looking forward to pulling out that vacuum cleaner.
Because it's all about reframing how we look at things.
Yeah. I'm excited actually about cleaning the house today.
And I think I just found a chapter for my book for Get Somewhere and Sit Down. Get somewhere and sit down and get to know yourself. Reunite with who you are. Okay, guys. With that, we want to remind you that we're here. And who do we have coming up next week?
We have Linus Woods Mullins next week.
Oh, okay.
I know, technology. This is a live show. This is a live show. These things happen.
That was so funny.
Even technology tune us out at a time. You'd be like, bye.
Yes, and you left us in suspense. You were about to tell us the most
so I would say the biggest piece I would tell, the biggest piece of advice I would say that works for me was to listen to my body. Okay. Seriously. I have learned that my body is the expert. I can hire experts over experts over experts. But if I don't listen to my body, then I don't know what to tell the experts.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
so I
right.
would say, because if you go to the psychologist, he's going to ask you what's going on. If you go to the doctor, he ain't going to just say, I'm going to write you a pill. He's got, what is their ailment you're having?
What's going on?
What are they? If you don't know those things, how are you going to hire help?
Yeah.
Think about that. So what I've learned is my body is the expert. Listen to it.
Well, Janice says this. She says, I spend time with God and ask him what I need to have peace. I I need him is in charge of my self-care. He is in charge of my self-care. Okay. There you go. So
Yeah.
get somewhere and sit down, people.
That's a personal. That's the thing. That's a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also what I want to say. That we, to Janice, that we served a great God.
Mm-hmm.
So he made you and he made me, and so he put these modalities here for us, right? He's never gone wrong. He put these modalities here to help us, and so with that, when we ask him his guidance, the modalities are here. He's already put them here. They're individual, and as how he made you an individual. And you have to find what modality works for you. And you have to find that if it's prayer, maybe that's work for some people, but once I know that you can pray, but you have to supplement pray with action. You got to do it. It's here. It's already made our body wonderfully and beautifully made. It's an incredible machine that runs. But that's why when we run into the ground, we have to remember that all our parts are interconnected. They're intertwined. Yeah, we're not separate from our parts. So, we're intertwined. And that's what I said. One of the only things that we can come to is the ownership. So I talk to people, I said, I really don't help them. I give them the key to ownership. I give them the key to their home, because I'm going to hand you the key when you start working with me and says, hey, this is the key to your home. Welcome home. You get to furnish the house how you want it. It's you get, and there's no bad way about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bad way about it.
It says amen.
You get to furnish the house how you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do that. But I know for me, I had so many sickness in my life that this life that I'm living, I just want to find joy in my house, this house.
And I think we're all in agreement with that, Maureen. But
And we're going to have Maureen back with us on August 24th. So we have Linda's coming back next week, and then after that we have Maureen coming back.
Oh,
so
great!
Before I go, 2 cute pieces of things that works for me and help me. I remember with my sickness, I went to my doctor, and she recommended that I do a lifestyle change. Like she's like, your body make these things, and so she's like, if you change your lifestyle, not a diet, but to a lifestyle,
right?
You will see the great difference in your body. You will see those two. And so one for me was I first started to exercise, and then I realized that exercise is hard and it's draining. Then I start to frame it as nourishing movements. And some days it could be just a stretch. It could be just me dancing like a lunatic and posting a video on Facebook, because that's how I feel. And, I want to take it out. It could be me just lifting some weight. It's a day-to-day process. It's how I feel. And I go in communion with my body and ask my body that morning, like, what is the best thing for you today? What do you want me to do, dude or girl or beautiful woman or whatever you do? And then I put on some nice little clothes that makes me feel sexy and makes me want to be like, hi, and give me some motivation in my ears. That girl, you can crush this today. And so I'd be like, hey, help me to crush it. And so that I don't realize on people, because people will let me down. I call people to go run with me. They'd be like, girl, I ain't running yours. And you shouldn't, because if you don't like running, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do an exercise. I'll tell my clients, if you do not like it, do not put it on the calendar. Right. Why are you giving me running when you can't run? You know you're not going to do it. Be honest with yourself. Find something.
It is the top of the hour, Maureen.
Be honest with yourself. So, be honest with yourself.
Be
Bye.
honest with yourself. Okay.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, Maureen. Thank you so
All right.
much
Thank
for all of
you.
your wisdom. I got
Thank
a
you.
lot out of today's conversation. That's for
I hope
sure.
you
Yes.
find it helpful and take care of yourself, because if you don't, yourself will take care of you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for
All right, everyone. We want to thank
the
you.
time, guys.
We'll be talking tech in an easy way to understand tomorrow with the Tech Life Divas. And so we encourage you to come back. You know, there's always something we can learn to do things better. So with that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business. So
It
go
is.
to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Thank you again, Robin, for all you do.
What?
See you later, Maureen.
Bye, guys. Have a
We'll
great
see
day.
you all. Bye-bye, everyone.